segment, our last topic for this week, and that was the big leak. That was big news last week, or at least over the break. Was it last week? I forget.
Yeah, it was originally leaked in what did I say? October.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it came to light again on Reddit.
Yep.
Where this image of the content release plan for Destiny was leaked. We don't know if it's real or not. It looks pretty legit. Yeah. It looks like one of those boring meetings you'd sit in where they talk about the lifespan of a game.
Big old projector, and like there was a timeline, and it seemed like someone just snapped a photo of it.
So you snap one photo and people lose their minds.
Mm-hmm.
So
to quote the Joker.
Yeah. So what was in that photo?
So the big thing that was in the photo was Comet, which is the middle release plan. And Comet includes, you have all the details.
Yeah, I'm actually pulling up the image right now.
It's 12 story missions, I think, 10 or 12 story missions. So they'll get exact details.
Okay, new missions, 12 strikes. I hate having to read off blurry photos. So I come from the world of Nintendo where like everyone makes a Smash Brothers mock-up screen. Like everyone, their grandma makes one, or like leading up to E3, there's the leak sheet that people do that's blurry. So from what I could tell, new missions, 12, new strikes, 4. Public events, that looks like a 1. New patrols, 1. New raids, 1. New PvP maps, that's either a 6 or an 8.
Raid.
It is a substantial update to the game.
And it says September 2015.
Yeah, so that means we're after House of Wolves, which we believe launches in March. We're not seeing anything until September, so they have to bridge that gap.
Yeah, so that was my biggest concern with this. I was like, awesome. My biggest concern was, what am I going to do during the summer? Like, in terms of like Destiny-wise.
Yeah.
So that was a big worry to me.
This is also very old at this point. It could be outdated. They could have adjusted their release plan, etc. Yeah, if you look on Reddit, Jose, they actually broke down what it says in the comments.
Okay, got it. I'll bring that up real fast.
And I think we did an article too.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at right now.
Yeah, and on that timeline, I think I believe it said House of Wolves was set for March.
March 10th. Yeah.
We'll see if that's correct. What if they adjust it by like one day just to be like, oh, that image isn't real.
But they're banking on like players keeping themselves busy from March to September. That's risky, man.
That's a big gap. Something else needs to happen during that time. Like you're gonna see a substantial drop off by the end of April. I'm probably gonna have all the gear. From House of Wolves.
Yeah.
I mean, optimistically.
Hopefully.
Yeah. And then it's just like, what do I do now? Do I just sit around? They're going to do the same thing they did with Crota. They're going to release normal, and then a month later, hard. And that's very – I don't like that. That's a silly way to expand
I get asked
your
this
lifespan.
question a lot, like, why do you still play this game? And I look at it as I primarily play this game for the raid and
the raid is so good.
For PvP.
Yeah.
And so – if you look at this game as from like the PvP point of view, it's essentially like any other PvP game at that point, right? Like Call of Duty or Battlefield, or Halo. It's just you play the same maps over and over again, and like, but it's not like, yes, it's repetitive, but it's something repetitive that you keep doing over and over again because that's how just multiplayer FPS games are, and that's how I play this game, which is why I keep playing this game.
Yeah, I keep playing for the raid as well, and maybe House of Wolves is going to be that good, but still, it just some people are alarmed at the growing cost of Destiny, and I think we all knew going in this game was going to get more expansions, and it's also kind of one of a kind. I know the MMO argument constantly gets brought into this, right? Where like, well, MMO expansions over time and how those trickle out and how often.
You pay a subscription fee.
Yeah, and there are also like a lot more there's a lot more free content that comes with some MMO updates over time. But looking at Destiny is kind of its own beast, and so I know when Dark Below came out, the level of disappointment, like there was not just in this office, but even folks I know was significant, right? Yeah. Folks were like, as much as I feel like some of the Dark Below is really good, some of it was sort of middling or just
I feel
kind
like
of the same.
Dark Below is bad.
And calling it an expansion was a mistake. Which was
Frozen is the only great thing that came out of it, and like
completely agree.
They did so much wrong with that release. Like, it made Vault of Glass pointless. Like, or nearly pointless. You can get the worst version of the things. Like, if you're a 30, so you can be a 31 just by buying stuff in the tower. Why would you run Vault? for the exotic drop, maybe. That's
because
it, right?
The fact that you can get that's another way to get an exotic drop.
And shards.
So, it's whatever. It's the vanilla version, right? But so what? Go to Xur and then upgrade it. But at least you have the exotic weapon. Sure. Also, the weapons of Vaulted Glass are just really good still.
Yeah, and they haven't been upgraded yet.
Till House of Wolves.
Yeah, I mean,
those need an upgrade path desperately.
I do Crota speedruns, and my primary weapon that I use is the Vision of Confluence, which is the Scout Rifle.
Yeah,
and
Scout Rifle with auto fire.
300 attack damage weapon, but it's still really good.
Do you think they learned a lesson, though? I mean, looking at this timeline, do you think they learned a lesson that before House of Wolves, you cannot drop this, okay, we'll go to Xur, and you might get an upgrade path to, if he's selling it, to upgrade pre-existing exotics to the next damage cap. Do you think they learned, hell no, don't do that?
Yeah, they don't do that again.
I think if they do that again, a lot of folks are just going to be, I'm done. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. This treadmill's getting tiring.
Yeah, that almost pushed me really far away from the game, was the fact I had to re-level up all these weapons.
How many did you have to re-level up? Just out of curiosity, sorry.
14.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it.
I legitimately considered just not playing anymore, because it's just like, okay, so everything I worked really hard to get all this stuff, all this armor to 30 on all my characters, and you just made it all obsolete. You made it so that I can buy better stuff in the tower? That's messed up.
And what's crazy is, at that time when that happened, I wasn't as big into Destiny, and so when I came back, it gave me the quickest path to be able to run Crota.
Yeah,
I didn't have to go through half of the struggle you did. No, great for me. Like I'm going to say that, but I also I feel for you there, because meanwhile, like I sat out. I finished Destiny's campaign when it came out, and I was like, okay, I'm going to put this down for a while. Played it just here and there, but I just bought everything I burned Vanguard marks as much as I could, prioritized getting gear, and then I was like, all right, I'm ready for Crota. And we ran it, and I had a great time. And the raids are great. If you're someone who still hasn't played a raid, you need to do this. Like, you need to find some friends and and talk to folks and just experience that, because it's the best part of the game, hands down. Even if the gear can be a little obsolete.
Tower gear,
running Vaulted Glass.
Tower gear should have been 30. Vault gear should have been 31. Crota gear should have been 32. That's what I think. I mean, that's debatable, obviously, but you shouldn't. The gear that was released in the tower should never have been made more powerful than the hardest thing to get into the game. Because it's easy to buy. You just buy it.
All right.